UDA එකෙන් ඇවිල්ලා ලස්සනට හදන මගේ ආයතනෙන් ඇහුවා මේ වගේ මේ ලයිට් මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේන ලස්සන ලයිට් තියනවා දාලා මේ සහයෝගය දෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මම ඒක කෙරුවා මේකෙන් අපි මේන්ටේන් කරනවා.
The land belongs to the Urban Development Authority. We say that it belongs to us. If someone is asking for that ownership and are making such a demand, then the only place it can be resolved is in court. The inquiry into the matter was held at the Fort Police Station today under the patronage of the Assistant Superintendent of Police and the officer in charge. Lawyers for the Maharajas organization and officials of the organization and officials from the UDA participated. The most important factor in this matter was, does the ownership of this land lay with the Maharajas organization? Firstly, the UDA perused the deed of transfer that we submitted and stated that it concurs with their records. They stated clearly that the sale had been carried out correctly and that the land had been transferred legally by the UDA. They unhesitatingly accepted that the land belongs to Sri Jaya Hotels Limited, which is owned by the Maharajas organization. Sri Jaya Hotels Limited certainly has the right to put up a fence here. Thereby, the Maharajas organization has not done anything illegal. A conflict arose with regard to a plot of land spanning about 65 perches opposite the World Trade Center in Colombo Fort. Officials from a company connected to a certain media institution had come here to erect a fence. The Urban Development Authority had opposed this. Then the Urban Development Authority lodged a complaint with the Fort Police. When the complaint was inquired into, the private company in question presented documents proving their ownership. The Urban Development Authority had accepted the documentation. Thereby, the Urban Development Authority has accepted that the ownership of this land lies with this private company. Both parties have reached a settlement that if any construction is to be undertaken on this plot of land or if a fence is to be erected, it can be done with proper authorization from the Urban Development Authority.
Problems first arose in marking the boundary lines of this plot of land at Echelon Square in the Colombo Fort on the 20th of February. The complaint was taken up on the 24th of February. The Deputy Director, Lands at the UDA, MPJ Patiruge, who represented the authority when the complaint was taken up, accepted that the plot of land was owned by Sri Jaya Hotel Limited, which is owned by the Capital Maharajas Organization Limited. On the 18th of March, we addressed a letter to the Director, Lands at the Urban Development Authority regarding the construction of a temporary fence which would mark the boundary lines and included the plan for the proposed fence. While the UDA confirmed having received the letter, there was no response beyond that. Having notified the police on the 21st of March, steps were taken to erect the fence in order to ensure the security of the plot of land and to affirm ownership. When attempts were made to construct a temporary fence around the plot of land belonging to our organization, certain competing media institutions presented malicious, completely false, irresponsible reports.
අපි මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ නාලිකාව. ඒ අතින් ගත්තාම අපිට ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් ඉතාම භාරදූර වගකීමක් තිබෙනවා.
We are the people's channel. In those terms, we have an extensive responsibility to the people. Whenever anyone exposed drug trafficking, for example, it worries a certain TV channel. When insider trading at the stock market is reported, it worries another TV channel. Our reporting is not based on anyone's agenda. We report for the people, so we do not worry when mud is slung at us. The Capital Maharajas Organization Limited has maintained its reputation in this country for decades. We have never been involved in illegal or criminal activity, and neither have we stood for such activity. We have never, nor will we ever do anything outside the framework of the law of this country.
නීතියට එපිටින් ගිහිල්ලා කිසිම දෙයක් කරන්නේ නැහැ, කරලත් නැහැ කියන කාරණේ.
The ownership of this plot of land was transferred to Sri Jaya Hotel Limited, which is an associate company of the Capital Maharajas Organization Limited, in two phases in July 1988 and December 1989.
Ownership was transferred along with the plans to construct a 10-story hotel, which were drawn up by chartered architect Surat Vikramasinghe Associates. However, we decided not to proceed with this project and instead drew up plans to construct the head office of the Capital Maharajas Organization Limited in two phases. The plans were drawn up by architect Kumudu Munasinghe. A decision was made not to proceed with that project either, as we learnt of a risk of this land being acquired along with other urban lands. As a result of this, we maintained strategic silence until the suitable time. Suspicions of under-the-table dealings and corruption cannot be discounted when certain factions within the Urban Development Authority made irresponsible statements regarding the ownership of this land. We reiterate that as a group that is answerable to the people, we always function within the framework of the law. Despite many malicious reports, there were those who held their heads high and reported in a responsible, balanced manner. Such a report was seen in this Sunday's Sunday Observer newspaper. We express our highest gratitude to the editor and reporters of the Sunday Observer newspaper for standing by the principles of news reporting.
There was a news item that was reported recently. However, we witnessed the manner in which certain media organizations reported on this matter irresponsibly with malicious intent. I would like to reiterate at this instance that media organizations should act responsibly when reporting on stories. A great problem arises when media organizations engage in reporting based on their own interest. Hence, organizations should report independently, transparently and responsibly. We also would like to reiterate that state officials should act more responsibly when commenting or intervening into an issue. When taking a look at the recent conduct of state officials, it's evident that they have acted irresponsibly.